I'm back to doing builds, and this time I'm back. Oh boy, I'm back with a banger. This build is the best Surge build ever. Like, you would not find a better Surge. Like, this is the highest DPS. Remember Curse Doll? Remember Keen Blunt? Forget about all of that. This build will make you outperform all the other Surge like meta chasers. However, before I start the build, I know people would complain, so I'm gonna state it from now here. I'm going to put a disclaimer starting now. If you don't like taking risks, stop watching. At the moment, stop watching. This build is not for you. If you like the high risk, high reward kind of things, this one, you're going to love this build. If you're that type of player, and like Surge is that playstyle, honestly. So today I present you the spinning surge. Yeah, I call it the spinning surge. The reason behind that is because we will give up on Curse Doll and we would go like Raid Captain. Yes, you heard it right. We are going to do Raid Captain build. I've been trying to make this engraving work for so long and I couldn't, because I always tried with remaining, because since that's logical, remaining has more movement speed, so I was thinking that way. But it actually works super well with Surge. It's actually insane. So today I'm going to show you how to do it, what's the rotation, what are the requirements as well. First, the only thing you need is basically just the build first, the ingredients, then just two tripods. You would need level 5 quick pace, and you would need level 5 orb, not orb, I mean dark order. And you can guess already why. It's so we can max the movement speed. You might tell, since when I was thinking about like making Raid Captain work, I have tried to do so many rotations and tried to squeeze in all the damage during my strong buff, but it just feels so clunky and like it feels bad to play. But when I was like, okay, let me give up on Dark Axel for the, like, you use Dark Axel for escape, for safety. I was like, okay, let me give up on Dark Axel for safety, since I barely use it in raid. I mean, not barely, but most of the time I just use it to chase the boss. Since I can dodge mostly with spacebar, it's enough. I have so much push immunities. Well, the push immunity is still on it. We did not remove it. Like, you can still get two other push immunities with two surge activate, like for the surge activation and surge releasing. So like, you kind of still have some safety back, but you would give up like that high mobility Dark Axle. So we're going to do a small test to see the DPS. And then I'm going to do only one rotation. I will do one rotation of Raid, then one rotation for Curse Doll, and I will let you guys compare the damage. So for the rotation, it's really simple. You go the basic, Wind Cut first, Spin Cutter into Wind Cut again, that's the core for any surge rotation. Then Earth Cleaver, then you activate Maelstrom, then you squeeze in Soul Absorber and Blade Rush. You have 6 seconds, it's a lot of time to do these two abilities. Then after it, like, you do Void Strike. It's fine if you don't land it with the Maelstrom buff, since you don't depend on Void Strike for damage, you do it just for stacks. And you finish it off by Spin Cutter into Dark Axle into Surging. So it will be something like this. See, that's why I call it the spinning surge, because you spin with Dark Axle before surging, and that's such a cool fucking animation. So that's the philosophy behind the build. You basically use Maelstrom, so you cap the movement speed for Soul Absorber and Blades Rush. They would both benefit from the max damage from Raid, because you would have the Maelstrom buff on them, and your Surge will benefit from the Dark Axle because you have the quick pace, the tripod that gives you movement speed. So now I would do a test, a DPS test, to show you the difference between one curse doll rotation and one spinning surge rotation. So you see that. Okay, 90 million for one rotation. Let's swap now to Curse Doll. So you see that, right? The Raid Captain rotation did more damage than Curse Doll. And are you aware that in Trixion I don't have the Yearning support effect? So that means I'm dealing more damage with Raid Captain without the Yearning set effect from support that gives extra movement speed. So if I'm in a real raid scenario, I will deal even more damage. So I'm already doing more damage, just fine by myself. I'm doing more damage than a Curse Doll user, and I'm going to be dealing even more if I have a support with Yearning set. That's crazy. And for people that would say, oh, like, then you would have a slower rotation because you used every skill you have. Well, let me show you this. If you remember when I told you the last video about a perfect rotation is a perfect that takes 10 seconds. So watch this. I got 20 stacks in 9 seconds. I didn't even know that was possible. I finished 20 stacks so fast. It was insane. So this rotation is faster than the normal rotation because you're using more skills. So you have like a faster rotation, if that makes sense. Okay, let's say you're not convinced. You want your Dark Axel to stay. You just can't give it up. You don't believe in yourself. I got the solution for you. Okay, we're going to keep Dark Axel. Let's see what would happen if we ignore, because the build I just explained is to maximize the damage of everything. But you can still play it safe and not maximize Blitz Rush and Soul Absorber and only use Maelstrom before surging to maximize only surge damage. So watch this. Did you see that insane damage? So even if you keep Maelstrom till the end, you will still end up doing the exact same damage as a Cursed Doll user. So the only thing that happens if you give up on maximizing that Blitz Rush and Soul's Absorber damage is that you would end up doing the same damage as a Cursed Doll user. And imagine if you have Yearning set, because I don't have Yearning set here, so it will be even more damage. So that's really good. Like, you don't have any reason to play Curse Doll or Keyblade anymore. You just play normally, do your rotation normally, just before surging, use a Maelstrom, and you would end up doing the same damage as a Curse Doll user. That's insanely good.